You might know someone who claims to be an AI expert, but how much do they really know? AI is a very deep subject matter, and you don't need to be a level 5 expert to actually know quite a bit and make a bunch of money with it. However, I do encourage viewers to continuously broaden their perspective and understand what these technologies are capable of, because it's having an increasing impact over all of us in the coming decade. So, without further ado, let's look at level 1. At level 1, we have casual AI users. These are people who might have tried out ChatGPT, maybe they've written a poem for somebody, or maybe you generated an image with an AI tool like Midjourney. Now, you might be surprised to learn that this puts you ahead of 3/4 of US adults. Because yes, only 23% of US adults have actually used ChatGPT. And this is coming out of a Pew Research survey that they did just back in February of 24. That same survey showed that 1/3 of US adults hadn't even heard about ChatGPT. So if you've used an AI tool directly like that, give yourself a pat on the back and keep learning some more. Because at level 2, we have applied AI developers. And these are people who know how to code and typically use existing AI tools such as the openai API to build AI-powered features or applications. These developers are often focused on integrating AI into existing products or building new products on top of those already available AI tools. There's a lot of money to be made in this space, so I highly recommend people who are looking to jump on that AI wave to actually understand how these APIs work and think of new tools that they can create to take advantage of those APIs, especially if you can combine that with some proprietary data that you might have. Because the tasks that these applied AI developers are often dealing with are things like prompt engineering and retrieval augmented generation, where they enable AI to use existing data to provide much more personalized and specific results. On the higher end of a level 2 understanding in AI are people who are working on fine-tuning models, which is taking existing models and bringing a bunch of your own data and then modifying the model's weights so that it can accomplish a specific task that you have in mind for it more effectively. Which brings us into level 3. These are people who have an understanding of AI architectures, and I'm talking about how different models actually work, such as transformers and diffusion models, and these people have a deeper understanding of what is actually happening behind the scenes. So not just applying AI to real-world problems, but actually understanding how the models themselves work. These people understand neurons and layers and different activation functions between those things. So people with this level of understanding have a better idea of how data is used to train the model and what sort of results you might expect to get back out of it, because you have an understanding of how data flows throughout the entire process. This is going to help you understand what are some fundamental limitations and capabilities of different models and what sort of constraints you might actually run into. This level of understanding makes it clear why something like the ARC-AGI benchmark is so difficult for current AI models to overcome. And I have a separate video on that in case you're curious. So if level 3 is understanding how the models work, what is level 4? Well, level 4 is getting hands-on and actually training these models. That means you need to have an understanding of the data that you're going to use, what sort of transformations you need to apply. You need to be able to collect and clean that data. In addition to all of the data collection and cleaning, you need to use all of your model architecture understanding to actually create your own models and configure the different layers and the activation functions between neurons. And you'd usually do this using libraries such as PyTorch or TensorFlow. So at this level of understanding, you're really dealing with a lot of the guts of the actual model, and you're training these models. So things like distributed training and hardware optimization, understanding CUDA and how to resume training runs and loss functions and all of this stuff really comes into play. And people at the level 2 understanding, right? You don't need to worry about this stuff. But when you build your awareness and deep understanding of how everything works, you're able to accomplish a lot more. Now, to be honest, my own understanding of AI is probably around a level 4 because I have taken classes, I understand all of these layers and architectures, and I've trained my own models before, but I tend to lean more towards the applied AI side of things because there are some huge companies working on improving and training these huge AI models. And so for me, it's better to just help businesses integrate those tools and help everybody make a lot more money. But our deepest level of understanding is 5, which is AI innovation and research. And these are people who are creating new architectures from scratch, who are publishing research papers, and are pushing the boundaries of what is even possible with AI today. I would really like to dabble in some of this stuff, and honestly, the ARC prize has gotten me really interested in trying to build something more foundational, maybe some sort of model that can reason or is focused on reasoning specifically, but it is a little bit out of my wheelhouse for now. Hopefully I'll find some time on it. But if you're interested in learning more on this level of understanding, I highly recommend Andrej. He used to be at OpenAI, and he's made a ton of really insightful content, like building up GPT from scratch and then open sourcing a bunch of code. He has tons of super in-depth videos, so if you're curious, make sure to check him out, because that's the kind of person you gotta be to have a level 5 understanding of AI. So what's your current level of understanding? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care.